Impact segment tonight, there is a restaurant out here in L.A. called Republique, a very successful one. Recently, the owners have added a 3% fee to every bill to pay for employee health care. That's caused some controversy. Here now, Bill Chait and Walter Mansky, who run Republique. Am I saying it correctly? It's a French deal, right?
Yes.
Republique, okay. All right, Mr. Chait, begin with you. Why do you make a big deal out of this by saying, okay, there's a 3% surcharge? Why don't you just add it into the bill so nobody would know it and just take the 3% and pay for the insurance?
Well, the real genesis was in California, we have a very restrictive gratuity system, and none of the gratuity can actually be shared with the kitchen. This was actually, the genesis of this was really a way to basically give something to the kitchen to show appreciation for the service staff.
So the government in California, the state government actually regulates your tips, where they go and how they're distributed?
Correct.
So they got their tentacles all over you guys. So what is the statement that you wanted to make to the consumer? See, if I walk in, I see 3% for health care added onto my bill, all right, I'm going to want to know why. I mean, what do you tell them when they ask?
It's a way of taking a portion of the gratuity and dispersing it to the kitchen.
So do I give 12% instead of 15 or 17 instead of 20% tip because you're taking 3% and add it onto the bill?
You should tip like you always do. You should tip as much as you feel necessary.
All right, so basically what you guys are doing is telling me, the consumer, when I come in, all right, and your restaurant's not inexpensive, that I'm paying 3% more for the health care of your 80 employees. That's what I'm doing, is right. Right?
Correct. You're paying 3% in lieu of a gratuity, because what we're doing is we're suggesting...
But Walter just said he wants the same gratuity.
It's completely voluntary. So in other words, if you were to adjust it down, the service staff is actually fine with that.
But I would feel bad if I did that. I don't want to adjust it down. Well, particularly me, because then it would be every gossip column in the world.
We expect you to adjust it up.
Right, and I usually am a generous tipper. But I'm still not getting why you just didn't build it into the price of my chicken Kiev or whatever I'm getting. Just give it there. You guys went out of your way, and you know it, and you're getting publicity. You're on a program tonight to say, look, you guys, I want to pay for my health care. You get 80 employees. All right, and I'm going to make the customer pay 3% more on his meal to do that. Some customers are going to say, I don't really want to do that. You should do that with your own business. Don't impose it on me.
Right, and some have, and we could have called it kitchen appreciation, and maybe in the next restaurant I have, we will do that. I have a number of restaurants. This is the only one that it's in so far.
Yeah, I don't know whether this is a good or bad thing. I like talking about it, so it's good for us. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with Obamacare at all, right?
Has nothing to do with Obamacare.
You're an 80-employee institution, so you've just got a waiver. You just got a waiver that you don't have to do Obamacare this year.
Or next year.
What?
Or next year.
Or next year, right. You got that waiver. But you're buying health insurance for your folks anyway, right?
Yes.
All right, that's nice of you. Nice of you. You don't have to do that, do you?
No.
They could be self-employed and they have to get their own insurance, whereupon they would have to go to the Obamacare exchanges.
Right.
But you're buying their own insurance for them, good thing, but you're making the customer pay 3% more, which may not be a good thing.
Well, arguably, if you really look at the system, when you walk into a restaurant, you spend $120. You don't remember whether you spent $120 and $90 was food and $10 was tax and $20 was tip. You think you spent $120.
It's $120 a head, right?
Right.
All right.
Well,
does that include wine?
I'm giving you an example.
All right. Does that include wine?
Our check average is probably about $65. But if you add on the tax you pay plus the gratuity, you end up spending 30% more than that. 20% for tip and 10% for tax in California. It's a big tax state.
All right. It is a huge tax state.
So what I'm saying is when you get to that number, the consumer has a certain amount that they're going to spend. And once you start getting up too high, they don't remember that they spent it in a gratuity or they spent it in tax. This was a way to basically take a portion of what was all going to one half of the workers. So you're talking about a huge number. $1.3 million.
You have on your menu that 3% is going for the health care. You got that? Everybody's seeing that.
We used health care as the compensation rather than minimum wage or additional wages, because it was actually a very efficient way, a tax-free way for people to get a benefit, because health care is not taxed.
Okay.
So it's in an odd way.
Big controversy in this country about Obamacare.
Yes.
Okay, big controversy.
Unfortunately, we now know.
All right, and you guys are right in that zone of small business guys. Okay,
we're in the culture war now.
Obamacare, you like it?
We don't have to deal. We're not faced with it now. I don't want to.
All right, I got you.
I don't want to alienate anyone.
I got it.
I want insurance for all my
I think the system, the goal of it is admirable. I'm a libertarian. I don't think that this is the way to get about it.
All right, so you don't want the big government infusion, and Walter just wants everybody to come in and spend as much money as possible. So
exactly.
All right, we got that. All right, gentlemen, good luck with the restaurant. We'll stop by, and I'll still give you guys a big tip, and I'll pay the 3%.
Thank you.
Directly ahead.